So if you haven't seen my previous video, yes, I just got my second cochlear implant. I am fully in stereo now, and I'm going to tell you how my activation and mapping went. So activation is where they actually turn it on, right? Typically you have surgery, you have to wait at least a couple weeks for most people, and then for some healing to happen, and then you go in, they give you the external hardware, which is, here's my new hardware on this side, and then they turn it on. So I feel like my first activation, my memory was telling me, hey, your first activation went really well. For some reason, I had that in my mind. I don't know that that's true, but I went in thinking the bar was high. I went in and I understood speech pretty much right away. It was very robotic. This is the first time. It was very robotic and, sounding a little bit like, Daft Punk vocoder, but I could understand it. So, I'm going in for my second activation. They turned it on, and in a flash, my brain was like, what the crap is happening? Because, I've been, wearing my CI on my other side and hearing really, really well. And then in a flash, all of that was gone, right? Because I just was wearing my new one. And I was right back to very primitive, robotic, really fuzzy, distorted sounds, distorted speech. And my brain kind of freaked out in that moment. Like, it was like, seriously, what's happening right now? And I instantly kind of stamped a negative connotation to that. And it was uncomfortable. It was tough. I was feeling like it wasn't going well. But in reality, it was going, honestly, just how it goes. Again, my audiologist reminded me that there are a lot of people on activation day that don't understand anything. And I did, understand some speech. I felt like it was a little bit rougher around the edges than the first time, but I could. And then, of course, I get in the car. The first thing I do is turn the radio on, which is probably not smart, but, I'm listening to music and I can't even tell it's music. And so I instantly had to okay, take a step back. Remember, this is just day one. Right. And so the first couple of weeks after that, my robotic sounds actually lasted a little longer than the first time. Now, it wasn't as long. It was probably a good 2.5 weeks. The first time it was maybe a week and a half. So it was a little bit longer. But then, and I'm right now, again, I'm about 2 months out from activation and everything is sounding pretty normal. And I went in for, mapping. Mapping is basically where they tweak your settings to kind of personalize it to where you want it. And, I scored really well. My word score with just on my new side was at 92%. And then with both together, I was around 95%. And again, that doesn't necessarily mean that happens for everyone. This was just my trajectory. Now, same as the first round, I did my homework before my mapping. I did all my rehab as far as using apps and watching captioning and really trying to work hard so that by the time I got to that first mapping, I was doing pretty well. What is tough is that now you're accounting for two. And when you first hook them both up together, it's a little bit weird as far as I couldn't tell, and I still can't really tell which one is louder. Sometimes it's a little bit weird to figure out. I'll take one off and one on, and I still can't really figure out if one's louder than the other. So there's a little bit of getting used to stereo, but that really brings me to the things that I'm really thankful for. Wow. It, again, no regrets with the surgery. This is not, if you're new to learning about CIs, cochlear implants are not a solution to bring your old hearing back. This is simply a new way of hearing. And I am super thankful now that I can hear in stereo again. If anything, it's great just for spatial awareness. I feel a little more safe. If a car is going to race and hit me from this side, at least I can hear it coming now. And it's also just really great. I'm having to use my little directional microphone less because now if someone is sitting on my other side, I actually have a mic on that side to hear them. I still use my mic if I'm in a very loud, noisy public place to just kind of focus in on listening to one person. But it's still frustrating. It depends on how large the group is. This morning, my husband and I went to coffee, and I just put the mic around his neck, and I could hear him really well. But, a month or so ago, we were at a dinner with 20 people at a table, and that is still frustrating, and I don't think that is ever going to go away or be better. I do the best I can with my directional microphone, but I'm still not going to be able to really take in conversation well within a large group of people. I still really struggle with that socially being out, but that's just something I'm just going to have to get used to. So, bottom line, having a second one has made things a lot better. It hasn't solved every challenge, but it really has improved my hearing greatly. In the next video, I will talk about how does music sound now with 2 cochlear implants.